Hi, I'm Chrysetta and we'll be doing a 25-minute Align Define class today. I'm using some props. One is a little circular band. If you have just a long TheraBand, you could go ahead and tie it into a loop right now. So just make sure you get a nice firm knot if you're tying a TheraBand into a little circle. It's kind of like a light to medium weight band. So if you've got a few options, feel free to use a lighter one. You can also do this whole workout without the prop. So if you don't have a band, totally fine, you can go without. I've also got a set of hand weights here that I'm going to be using a little bit later. So feel free to grab a set of hand weights. Mine are 3 pounds. You could do something around 2s or 3s, maybe a little bit heavier if you're in the mood. So we'll start out with a band, and I want you to get it set up around your feet. So it's gonna go right under the arch of my foot, and I'm pressing the band apart just a little bit. So I've got a little tension in that band. We'll start our warm up here. So finding a nice tall standing position, 10 toes are looking straight ahead, and I've got a little bit of energy kind of pressing my band apart. And that kind of helps my outer hips activate for stability a little bit. So when you're ready to get going, here we are. We'll take a big breath in, reaching up for the ceiling. Let your shoulders rise up to your ears. And then exhale, just press all of that down. Good, so just kind of finding our body today. Inhaling, reaching up. Go ahead and allow those shoulders to lift up. And then press it down. Good, one more like that. Breathing and reaching up. Just making as much space in your body as you can. And then press on down. Good. From here, we're gonna start sitting back. So I'm gonna take a little sit back, feels like a squat. We'll stand up onto those straight legs, and then one time reach up to the ceiling. So it's gonna go a little sit back, and stand, and reach, and down. Good. Sitting back, stand, reach, and down. So just kind of getting that heart rate up right away. These movements are just as big as feel comfortable for you early on in class. Good. Nice, we'll take about 4 more here, last 4. And up. Good, last 3. And good, last one, we'll pause at the top. So find that nice tall shape. One hand goes to a hip, and we'll take a nice big side bend over. So I'm thinking about the top side of my ribs, lifting up and spreading to the ceiling. So just take a moment kind of stretching. If it feels good, you can look side to side. And then find center, and we'll go the other way. So hand to a hip. Take that nice side bend over. I still have a little pressure out into my band. And then again, side to side if it feels good for you today. Good, when you're ready, we're gonna go a little bit faster. So we'll find center, we'll reach over. Center, and reach over. And I'm kind of feeling this sort of slinky feeling in my spine. So one side's getting a little shorter, while the other side's spreading out. Good. So 4 more here, just kind of waking up those sides. Good, last 2. Last one. Nice work. And then bring your hands to heart center. Kind of press in and feel those core muscles engage. So I'm kind of feeling like if my body was a sandwich, my left half and right half are kind of squeezing into the middle. At the same time, my feet are pressing out into my band. So a little balance moment here. We're gonna try to shift our weight into one foot, pull your foot up into your band, and then step it out. And then we'll go to the other side. So finding your balance, lifting your toes up, pulling up on that band, using those core muscles. Good, and then down. Then we'll start to speed that up a little bit. So it feels like a nice big march, pulling the knees up into the chest. And I'm thinking toenails lifting up to the ceiling. So I'm really getting my foot flexed too. Good. You've got your balance. Feeling good? Let's add some arms. So we're gonna pull those elbows down to the sides. Pull down. Pull down. Nice job. Good. And just check out. Jaw is hanging free. Breathing nice and easy. I always like to use my exhale when it feels like I need a little extra support for myself. Good. Here we go for 8. Last 6. Good. 4, 3, 2, and then let's add a little twist. So I'm going to twist into that knee that's coming up. Twist and twist. Good. Here we go for 8. Last 6. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Nice work. I'm taking an easy roll down. Just hang your head, hang your shoulders. And while you're down there, bend your knees, slide your band off for now. And we're gonna lay down on our backs. So a little core moment. I've got my band in my hands. I'm gonna put it around the outsides of my wrists and give it a little press apart. So again, feels kind of like I'm trying to open that band, use a little bit of tension. And then from here, our knees will float into our tabletop position. And I just want you to check in that your tail feels heavy on the floor. Abdominals feel like they're deflating down to the spine. And then from here, we're just gonna move the arms first. So sliding those arms backwards, sliding them back on top. Good, I'm leaving my jaw nice and heavy, head nice and heavy. Backs of shoulder blades are kind of connected into the floor. Nice, if that's all feeling great and you're ready for a challenge, let's add the opposite leg reaching out. So reaching out long, pulling it in. Other side. Good, can you really keep that band pressing apart, shoulder blades on your mat? I'm trying to put that work in the back of my shoulder, not in the side of my neck. So my neck stays relaxed, head stays relaxed. I'm pressing that band apart from underneath. And if it feels like this is creating a lot of neck tension for you, you can always ditch the band. No problem at all. Here we go for 4. Last 3. Last 2. Good, and then we'll try both legs reaching out if you're ready for it. Just 4 times here, reaching out nice and slow and strong, and in. Here's last 3, and in. Last 2. Good, and then last one there, and then you can hug those knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock around. Good job. And then I'll ditch my band for this next moment. We're gonna come up to stand with hand weights in our hands. So switching gears into the arms. Squeeze your legs all the way together. My big toes and my heels are touching. I'm gonna just softly bend those knees a little bit. Good, from here, arms reach out to the sides, and I can see my hands in the corner of my eyes, so I'm not way too wide. I've got my rib cage nice and heavy in the front, connecting into those abdominals. From here, we'll start with just a little smooth circle with those arms. So smooth little circle. If you looked at yourself from the top down, you'd see your head on top of your rib cage on top of the pelvis, and then pelvis right on top of the middle of the feet. All right, so just kind of finding that nice stacked alignment. Good, let's go 3 more here. Last 3, last 2. Last one, and then reverse those weights, other way. Nice smooth circle. Good. And again, I want to check in that I'm not holding my arms from my neck. I'm not holding them from underneath my armpits. So give me a little squeeze in the backs of the shoulders. Underneath that back corner of the armpit helps me support that weight. Good, here's 3. Last 2. Good, last one, and then we'll flip our palms to face up. Good, from here I'm gonna bend my elbows in by my waist, and then reach the arms out long. Elbows squeeze in, and reach out. Good, and think about that back corner of your armpit zipping closed, and then reaching out. Zip closed, reach it out. Nice job, here we go for 8. Last 7. Here's your 6. Last 5, holding out in 4. Good, 3. Last 2. And then pause with those arms out. My elbows slightly bent, so I'm not locking out those joints. So a little tiny bend in those arms. Good. From here, we're gonna slide fingertips on top of the forehead and then slowly open. Sliding up, slowly open. Good. Up and down. I still got my core connected. So that means to me, rib cage feels like it's kind of sliding down in the front. 4 more here, last 4. Good, last 3. Nice, last 2. Good, last one. Let's pause with those arms out to the side. One more time. Find your right foot. Take a big step backwards with that right foot. Pinky fingers come together in front of you. And then we'll step back to the middle. And then switch your feet out. So other foot steps back and open. Stepping back and open. Good. So we should feel like quite a bit of work for those shoulders to keep those hand weights up. Head still floating nice and free. Check it out. Good. And if this feels like too much for your knees or for your hips, you can always skip the legs. Just keep the arms. Good. 4 more right here. Last 4. Last 3. Good. Last 2. Nice job. Last one. We'll step feet back together. Hands in front of you. 1 elbow bends. Quick little switch. Switch and switch and switch. So finding those biceps. And then notice if you're trying to wiggle around through your spine a little bit, try to stay right in the middle, using those abdominals for 8, 7, 6, 5. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring them down. Good. So I'm going to trade my hand weights out for my band, and we'll find a side lying position. So the band is going to go around my legs. And again, totally fine to do this without the band if you don't have one. So we'll get into this side lying position where my knees are a little in front of me, shoulders stacked on top of my elbow, and just go ahead and kind of sink into your shoulder for a second. So it sort of feels like you're doing it wrong, kind of lazy through that shoulder. And then use those great support muscles to push the floor down and lift up out of that shoulder. Right, so it's really important to me that we've got our shoulder in this nice, wide, open position. It's not rolling forward, not getting crunched up to the ears, right? So set yourself up really nice. And then the top thigh is gonna float open and then slowly close. Float open, slowly close. I'm trying to keep my knee and my toes basically pointing straight ahead. And I have a little bit of this like side plank energy happening in my bottom side waist. So I want to feel like there's a little bit of connection holding that bottom side together. Good. A great option if this isn't working for you is to lay your head down on your arm and come all the way down to side lying. Totally fine if that works better for you. Good. 4 more here. Last 3. Last 2, and then pause at the top for me. Imagine you have a pencil coming out of your kneecap. I'm gonna draw like a baseball-sized circle with that little kneecap pencil. So nice little circle in the air, pushing out into your band. Really nice job. We'll go 3 more like that, last 3. Here's last 2. Good, and then reverse it, other way. Good. Here we go, final 4. Keep those abdominals on board. It's kind of like a little hug for my core muscles. Last 2. Good job. Last one, give it a quick reset. Now we're gonna add on. So if you had your head down on your arm, you might prop back up onto this elbow position. When you're ready for it, we're gonna push down with that bottom elbow and lift the hips up. Feels like a little side plank. So that's step 1. You can reach that top hand to the ceiling if you're ready. Good. Step 2 is we're gonna lift our top leg up and then we'll unfold everything back down. So I'm gonna go push down, lift the hips. Step 2, lift the leg and then undo it. Leg down, hips down. And we'll do that a few times. So pressing down with the elbow, floating your hips. Floating the top leg if you're ready. Down and control down. We'll go 4 like that. Here we go for 4. And lift. And down, good. Here it is, 3. Good, last 2. Nice work, last one, we're gonna try to hold it up at the top. Extend that top leg all the way straight. Flex your foot, toenails up, and then give me a little pulse up. Up, up. Nice job, here we go, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest it for a moment. Good, we're gonna flip to hands and knees. Just gonna flip around. But either way, that makes sense. You're gonna come up into this nice hands and knees position. Good, when you're ready for it, we're gonna work both sides a little bit. So one leg is gonna kick back, I'm gonna squeeze my booty, and then slowly float it back in. And we'll do the other side. So kicking back, squeezing the booty, and in. So I'm alternating sides and trying to keep my spine pretty still in the middle. Good. And if you want to feel a little bit of extra work for your abdominals, you can pretend you're trying to squish your yoga mat in the middle. So I'm kind of pulling my hands towards my knees, creating a little brace in the core, and keeping that tension, hands pulling back towards the legs. We're gonna go for 8. Good, last 6. Here you go, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for a moment in the middle. Take a breath. On your exhale, we'll push the hands and toes down so much that the knees slowly float up into a little hover. Good, and then when you're ready for it, we're gonna slowly tap them down. So we'll breathe in. Exhale feels like drilling the hands down into the floor to float those knees up. And then slowly bringing them down. Good, we'll go 3 more here. We're gonna hold the last one. So last 3, finding it. Last 2. Good, on your last one, I want you to try to hover those knees and hold. Feel where you are in the middle. Stay really nice and still, and then both knees are gonna push out into the band and then slowly back in. So a little push out into the band, slowly back in. We'll just do 4 more here. Last 4, last 3, final 2. Give me an exhale if you need it. Last one. And then set those knees down and you'll roll to lay on your other side. So we're gonna come around for that other side of the hip. So shoulders stacked, hips stacked. Absolutely fine if you need to come all the way down onto your arm for this first round. And then that top thigh is gonna open and close. I have a little bit of this like side plank energy, helping keep that bottom side waist lifted. Good. And just do a little tension scan for me. See if you can relax in your jaw. Relax in the sides of the neck as much as possible. We'll go 3 more here. Last 3. Last 2. And then pausing at the top. It's like you have a little pencil sticking out of your kneecap. I'm gonna draw a baseball-sized circle with that pencil. And I want it to be super smooth. So super smooth little circle. Good job. Here we go, 3. Last 2. Good, and then reverse that circle, other direction. How smooth can it be? Good, here's last 3. Last 2. Last one. Take a quick little rest with those legs. And then we're going to do a nice lift with the hips. So I want you to feel supported in your shoulder. It's wide, not rolling forwards. So get broad in those shoulders. We're gonna lift the hips up. That's step one. If you wanna reach to the ceiling, you can. Step two, we lift the leg, and then we'll control our way back down. Leg down and hips down. So we go a little float up. Leg up, leg down, hips down. So just nice and smooth. Press up, open, in, and down. We've got 3 more here. Up, open, in, and down. Good. Here's your last 2. Think about that side plank feeling of support. And then last one, we're gonna hold it at the top. So find that top leg's open, kick that top leg all the way straight, flex your foot, and then give me some little lifts up and down here. Up and down, up and down. So strong. Here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Knees together, good job. This time you're gonna flip it, sit on your seat. Let's take that band off the legs. We'll do a little bit of abdominals here. So I'm gonna switch back to my hand weights to help me really access my core. Squeeze your legs together. So big toes together, knees together. Reach your hand weights out, and then tuck your tail a little bit and scoop your belly back. So I wanna feel free in my head. My head's not so far back that it's really challenging for my neck. I want my head to feel stacked right on top, really free, but my lower abdominals, wow, they're really scooping back and in. Good, so from here, palms face the ceiling. You're gonna take a little bicep curl and then extend. Good, so little bicep curl and then extend. Nice and slow. You can always do this without the weights if it feels like it's too much for your back or too much for the neck. Good, and then even though my spine is a little rounded, I'm still trying to feel the top of my head lift up as I squeeze my core muscles. So I'm not getting shorter in my spine, really wrapping around something. Good, let's go 3 more here, last 3. Good, last 2. Nice job. Last one, we've got arms out, thumbs up. Stretch your legs out all the way long, squeeze your legs together, and then slowly roll down through the spine. Low back, middle back, upper back, all the way down. Take a moment, breathe, and then use your exhale to come all the way up. So you'll drop your chin down, peel your spine up. The hand weights will help you out a little bit, and we'll stack that spine into our nice straight spine. So do it again, tuck the tail, slowly round back. You can squeeze your legs down into the floor for help. And then curling it up. Good, nice and smooth. All the way down. And slow, smooth round up. Good, we've got 2 more, then we stay at the bottom. Last 2. And up, here's our last one. All the way down, we're gonna pause at the bottom for a moment. Float your knees into your tabletop. One leg is gonna reach out nice and long and straight, and then quick switch. Quick switch, quick switch, quick switch. This one can be fast tempo if you want to. So I sometimes like to breathe in for 2, out for 2. Good, if everything's feeling great, you're ready for a challenge. You're gonna tuck the chin in, reach those hand weights towards your toes. Switch, switch, switch. Here we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, final 4, 3, 2, 1, and knees in, weights down. You can take a little rest. Rock your legs side to side. Good, and then let's cross one ankle over the other knee. Just take a little figure 4 stretch to let that outer hip open. Good, and just notice if there's some tension you're holding that you don't really need. So maybe it's your jaw, maybe it's the front of the neck or the tops of the shoulders. And then switch out those legs. Good, finding that nice figure 4. And then little tension scan, see if you can let go of something you're holding onto that you don't really need. you'll grab the outsides of the legs, take a nice gentle rock forwards and backwards until you come all the way up. And we are done for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic day.